In the current world, when the elites are designing programs and systems to pull the human population away from Christ or tradition, it's not because it's cool and liberal and modern. It is because their system is satanic, demonic based, and that's why they are pulling you away from the holy law. They're pulling you away from ancient traditions that were based on God, rules and laws given by God, and also pulling you away from Christ and the Holy Word, and discouraging people to be Christians or anything to do with Christ that is shamed. So it's not because they are liberal and cool and scientific. It's actually because they are demonic, satanic, and extremely dark consciousness. Anything in this modern world that is considered fashionable, modern, cool, hip, these are all programming based on how Satan fell before, with his liberal thought and his own ideas, that he decided to rebel against God and be disobedient and have his own opinion and thought, which he encouraged other angels to fall along with himself. So similarly, Satan is doing the same thing with the human population and giving his speeches and giving his media programming with songs and movies and fashion, and creating this ultra cool world while taking away the God aspect and the God layer away from us. If you really understand where this cool, hip reality is coming from, it is directly coming from Satan and the fallen angels and all the races that he has created. So these are all satanic based people, and they are really far from cool, because the Satan and his minions are cursed and by our Father, and they have been turned black and disfigured, and they're very ugly, and they have lost their original angelic features and their angelic look, and they look extremely demonic and disfigured. So they are really far from cool, and even in their psychology, they're very petty, jealous, angry, very small-minded, always competing with one another, competing for money, status, positions, titles. They are based on filth, disease, all the disease that they spread in this world. They believe in fear. So it's really far from cool. So your ultra fashionable Satanist, they love diseases, and they love spreading diseases in the world, because they have that ability to do that, to infect humans, to make us sick. They have that ability to make humanity sick. So they love diseases, and they love creating vaccines, and they put a lot of disgusting things in their vaccine, such as aborted fetuses, mucuses, feces, animal material, just the most disgusting thing one can conjure up. They will put those materials in the vaccine and make a vaccine cocktail and put it in your sacred spiritual human body to contaminate you. So this is what your ultra cool, fashionable, modern, scientific celebrities are into. When the Western population gets programmed into being ultra hygienic and having showers every day and using perfume and deodorant and being literally shamed socially if you do not have a shower every day or use a deodorant or smell like a rosebud everywhere you go. So this is like the satanic mentality and the superficial fads that they live by. Is like, on the outside you have to be smelling amazing, but on the inside they are filling you with deadly diseases, and even the air has like chemtrails with all this mixture of nasty chemicals that we have to breathe in, and they contaminate our water and put pesticides in our food and literally contaminate and make everything filthy, while making you have a shower every day on the outside. This whole reality has been turned into a really filthy world, and especially the Western world. Though on the outside it looks clean and well maintained, and all the population looks amazing, like clean and pristine and smelling good. But this whole Western reality is like the most dirtiest world, because people have to eat a lot of pesticides in their food, and the water is extremely dirty. They don't have any mineral in their water, and they have so much chemtrail spraying, and God knows what we're breathing. And the vaccine load for everyone is so high, especially for the children that have been contaminated by the most disgusting vaccine cocktails under the guise of cure and healing. So this is the deception we are living by in this totally contaminated, filthy reality. Cleanliness and perfection on the outside, which is your Western system, and totally filthy and contaminated on the inside. Food, water, body, medicine, everything is totally made filthy. And this is a perfect representation of the Western world, where every level of the Western system is totally corrupt and infested by the Satanists. And they operate under various different factions and various different cults and names and organizations and space and science and universities and schools. And they are in the forefront of contaminating the Western population, especially, and spreading across the world, so that Satan can have as many people as he can under him, whereas all the humans will miss out on their God system. Spiritual contamination and filth can be seen via the Western system of putting pesticides in your food, polluting the air with chemtrails, vaccine cocktails of just disgusting biomaterial, and cocktails of disease given to humanity via vaccinations. And these are like physical examples of spiritual contamination or spiritual filth that we are cleansing. And all of this causes so many biological and physical problems. And on top of that, we have the crazy psychology of the fallen angelics to deal with, that are in contact with us through total telepathy. Understanding spiritual contamination through our everyday world is by looking at our food that has pesticides in it, our air that we are breathing chemtrails, that they're spraying chemtrails. Every other day, I get chemtrails above my sky all the time. And they also say there's a lot of disclosure based on where like food is mixed with like aborted fetuses and feces and animal material that we don't want to consume, and that we are not allowed to consume, has been mixed through with our foods. So this is what like spiritual cleansing is, and it's not just mental and spiritual, but a physical contamination, which is very demonic based, and it is found in every facet of reality, including our food. This spiritual contamination is found in the mind as well, when the fallen angelic give through telepathy give us a lot of negative thoughts. They give us fear, negative emotions. So that's what your mental contamination is, and they also put a lot of doubt in you, jealousy, anger, those types of emotion that they are directly channeling into us or forcefully giving us those thoughts. So they have very complex technological and organic architecture based on contaminating our thoughts and our mind and keeping us in a negative mind hold, or a fear-based mind hold, or a competition-based mind hold. This is like a mental contamination. So, social, spiritual contamination, such as divorces, death of a child, losing your home, not having employment, not having enough money, struggling to pay your bills, having fights between couples, disobedient children, problems with drugs and alcohol, domestic violence, unable to learn. So all of these social problems that we have, keeping up with the Joneses, so all of these issues are social spiritual contamination because the fallen angels operate with us and through us at this level, through every facet of our social life, and even through our education, our careers, our marriages, having children. They are in everything and everywhere, contaminating us 24/7. Spiritual contamination is when we are kept away from the Word of God. They will not allow us to understand the Word of God. They can have telepathic influence over us when we read the Bible or we read scriptures that we do not completely grasp it or understand it, or they can misinterpret those information for us to understand it in a different way. And that's like a spiritual contamination. Spiritual contamination is also when they shame you, when you're, especially in the Western world, with like Bible study is like a shameful thing, or you go to church every Sunday, it's a shameful thing. You listen to church music and watch Bible movies, that's a shameful thing. It's considered uncool. So these are forms of spiritual contamination because they will not let you learn the Word of God and keep you away through shame and fear. You can observe the spiritual contamination throughout our lives and throughout the world, all the problems of the world, all the wars, poverty, famine, filth that is around the world, mental health problems, aging, death, suffering, unkindness, vanity, propaganda. So these are all like spiritual contamination that a human being has to bear, and we have to physically and mentally bear these things. We have to ingest them, like if they put aborted fetuses in our food, we have to ingest it, and somehow we become totally spiritually contaminated in the face of our Holy Father. And this is like a literal way to hold us down spiritually.